broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey guys, welcome into another episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians After Show right here on AFTERBUZZ TV and AFTERBUZZTV.com. I'm Bobby DeMuro, Frankie Dugan, Sterling Cates. Nick is out this week.
He's doing things.
Questionable.
We'll just leave it at that and let him tell us next week what he's doing. Let's talk all grown up. That's the episode today on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. We were obviously out last week for Thanksgiving. What did we miss? Well, there was a baby born. I don't know if you guys heard about that. Kim gave birth.
What?
Whatever. It's just a kid.
What's his name gonna be?
Well, let's take a poll.
I think it's definitely going to be Kanye Jr.
It can't be technically Junior now because a report is coming out today that the middle name will be Robert to honor Kim's dad, Kim's late father. So,
But is that confirmed though? Do we really
sources are saying she was saying that in the delivery room.
I heard people saying
I won't
Easton.
believe it till I see it.
They turned down Easton. They specifically
down?
said they will not do another direction, which is good. Easton would have been a good name.
East and West.
But not with North, not...
Well then,
I saw someone say they should name him Wild, so it's Wild West, which I would love.
Yeah, I don't know how it's not Kanye Jr.
Yeah.
Or Kanye whatever. Kanye Robert
So if
West.
they're not gonna do directions, what do you think the thing is gonna be? I don't think it's gonna be like your average everyday name.
What if it's...
No, not. What if it's just like
Joseph.
Robert?
I mean, there already is, right? Yeah, what if it's like Jonathan...
like Mike.
What about Noah Lady of Robert?
Bobby.
You guys
What
are...
if it's Bobby?
Oh my God!
What did I name
What if
him
it's
after
Bobby
you?
Robert DeMuro West?
What is in those cookies you guys are eating?
Crack.
Something.
Okay, let's do this.
Let's lock it up. Well, I guess we'll find out with the name. They're obviously going to like sell the name, sell the photo, do the stuff they always do.
How long do you think it's gonna take?
A couple weeks.
Because I'm
probably.
anxious.
Yeah, because I can't wait any longer.
I need to
Well,
know.
the business is interesting. This is the last time they're probably going to be able to do this because it's the firstborn son. It's Kanye's firstborn son, whatever. The next baby, if they have number 3, like what Kim teased on the show tonight, I gotta feel like the price is gonna go down a lot. You already had 2.
Are people over it yet?
They'll never be over
Rain,
it.
Different celebrity, but Rain Disick wasn't nearly as big as Kourtney's first baby.
Right,
Kourtney's first baby put this family on the map when they were kind of in a lull in their brand 5 years ago or whatever, however old Mason is now. So Rain was a little bit less of a big deal, at least selling pictures and stuff. So I have a feeling that third baby's going to be less of a big deal. So they got to try to drum it up right now.
Yeah.
Well, I think Kourtney's a lot more chill and doing her mom thing, so she's not as trendable as I guess Kylie right now is probably on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing too is Kanye. Like Kanye doesn't want to do the tabloids. Like that's not his thing. So instead of selling pictures and selling the right, the announcement of the name, maybe they just do some very avant-garde photo shoot that
they
he's
probably
into.
will, yeah.
Or
Like a baby in like Armani clothing and
I mean, they did.
On the
cover of Vanity Fair.
Was
or
it
Vogue.
was it Vanity Fair that North was in? Which magazine was
was it
North
Vogue?
in? Or was it Vogue?
I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
But it was something like. I mean, that's something like that.
Yeah.
What if the baby comes out in the paper magazine?
With
the
champagne going over the top.
An oiled little baby
good.
bottom.
What if the baby's debut is in a Kanye music video? You just never know.
You never know.
Really know.
North has been in a music video now. Remember?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Has that video come out that they shot for the show last season?
Yeah.
I feel like it did.
I think so. Yeah.
Is it out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like it did.
Okay.
Yeah,
But-
it's out. It came out a long time ago.
Yeah, I feel like it.
It came out before the episode aired.
That would be a great thing to involve the audience on. So you guys at home, if you want to, comment on YouTube, hit us on Twitter at Sterling Cates, at XOXOCESCA, at Bobby DeMuro. You guys can tweet us, YouTube comment, whatever. What will Kim and Kanye name the baby? The winner gets
High five.
Right.
Know the video.
The winner gets a
That's like bragging rights or something.
the winner gets a favorite on Twitter.
Yeah.
But yeah, we would love to know. So we're gonna have probably a couple weeks at least to figure that out. Hey, Kylie turned 18 tonight.
Oh snap!
Big night. Now tonight, I mean, July, but
Yeah.
a big night for Kylie.
August 10th.
Was August 10th?
Mm-hmm. It was August 10th.
It's been 4 months, almost 4 months.
Yeah, she's
Wow.
just really, maturing so fast.
So 2016 is next week.
Yeah, that's great. Well,
Next week?
I mean, it's pretty much.
Whoa, I totally got scared for a second.
Okay, it's
no,
3 weeks.
It's crazy. It really is.
It is.
And we're all living in
But-
Kylie's world now.
Yeah, well, that birthday was just like, it was such a big deal. Like, it was everywhere. So I feel like we already knew it.
I like them having the family dinner, even if it weren't for television. I feel like they'd still do it because how close his family is. I like when the teenager having the 18th birthday, you can go crazy and do whatever, and you got a ton of money, you get a Ferrari. You have like the family dinner that's normal before that,
Right.
And like even though it's at a nice place and they're all wearing Tom Ford dresses and this insane like we
They're
would
literally all wearing Tom Ford dresses.
it's crazy. And the gifts she's getting, the gifts that she's getting are
Dad.
thousands of dollars of gifts. It's nice. That's one of those moments where they're likable and relatable, you know. And they go back and forth every episode. But that's one where you're like, my family do the same thing, different level,
Right.
Same
It's
thing.
a little bit different,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, totally normal. When I walk out of restaurants, the paparazzi flashes me too.
But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, get it.
Totes.
For sure.
You guys are killing me today.
Totes.
What did we think? I know we're kind of jumping around here, but we'll start with Kylie's birthday. Before we get to the Caitlyn and Kris drama around it, what do we think about Tyga on camera, being together, saying they're together? We know what happened recently.
Well, they were obviously together before she turned 18, but now that she's legal,
Yeah.
they're like, let's just go with it. No one can do anything about it at this point.
It's weird to see Tyga kissing someone.
It's weird to see Kylie kissing someone.
Really?
Right?
I didn't think it was as weird with Kylie.
No, I'm gonna agree with Sterling. It is kind of weird to see Kylie being affectionate.
Well, we know more about Kylie. Like,
Yeah.
we've watched her grow up, so it's like...
I guess I just feel like sometimes when you're in that genre of rap specifically that Tyga is in, unlike Kanye or whomever else, it's weird to see him having like an intimate moment.
Yeah.
That's a strange thing. Like I'm looking at him, like I've seen all your videos and I listen to all your songs and
Well,
like
if you
now you're
see-
being sweet.
If you've seen all the videos and
The Halloween one?
well, I don't know the Halloween one, but that one music video he had where they're like making out on his balcony. Remember?
Maybe I haven't
Kylie?
seen all the videos. There was the Halloween one with Kylie where
Yeah.
there's horrible acting.
It was
This
pretty
is
terrible.
atrocious.
Halloween.
Yeah, well, it was. I can't remember what the song was, what Tyga's song was, but it had a Halloween theme to it, and it was like kind of
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
thriller-ish.
No,
but it
maybe
wasn't on a
not.
balcony.
No, it wasn't.
No. But that one was just atrocious. That was a different level of bad. But yeah, so Tyga's here now. He's going to be here for a few episodes. We know he'll be gone in a few episodes. Maybe Kylie's moved on to ASAP Rocky.
No, they're still together.
Well,
Tyga.
they're taking a break.
No, they're not.
Yeah, I heard that they're not.
She said everybody needs to chill on Snapchat.
and was holding his hand.
hold-
No, that was a couple weeks ago. We talked about that, but then now they're like on a break or something. They're giving each other space, and Kylie keeps going on dinner dates with ASAP Rocky. You guys need to get together.
No, I don't. I think she's still together with Tyga.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know.
What about Caitlyn and Kris with this birthday? They almost let it be about them when it shouldn't have, but at the end,
I was okay.
they did right.
The whole birthday was like #awkward. Everyone seemed to be in their own little space. Kylie opened her gifts and had their cake and everything like that. But at the end, you even see Kylie kind of like standing there. I mean, I know they edited it to look kind of like that. So I was so surprised at the end when she said, my dinner was great. Everyone got along so well. I was like,
No one was really paying
No one was
attention
paying
to Kylie.
attention to
Everyone
you.
was asking Caitlyn questions.
yeah.
Well, what does an 18-year-old have to talk about? Like, I don't mean to be
Kylie
rude,
doesn't really
but
have much to talk about anyways,
yeah.
ever. So.
I mean, come on, we're in our 20s. We don't have a damn thing to talk about. Like, what are you going to talk about at 18? You know?
Mm.
Of course, what are you going to talk about at 50 and 60 too? I don't know. We're all just superficial. I have no idea where I'm going with that.
It's like, I don't know. I could probably think of something to talk about with my family.
Well, at the end of the day, the birthday dinner was kind of awkward and a little weird, but at least it was stomachable. Like there wasn't any bad moment besides Caitlyn showing up an hour late.
That's
that
so
was,
rude.
Yeah, that was pretty rude.
You know what? She says she wants to be involved with her kids, and she said this for a long time. Bruce said this. Like this has been a thing for years now. But like, every opportunity, it's not, a deal breaker. It's not Scott going to Florida like a couple weeks ago. But every opportunity, you're just missing one piece here, but it's important. Whether it's showing up an hour late or whatever, it's just, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's like almost like, I feel like I have these two things that are really important. What are they? Oh, yeah, kids.
and it's just like, after all the drama with even being involved in these family events, and then you're just going to show up late, and then, but
how awkward
it is.
Excuse me. How awkward was it when they left and they went to like give each other like the hug? Totes awkward.
Well, what about that whole thing? So let's get to Caitlyn and Kris. We saw it on I Am Kate. That was a partial episode rerun.
We didn't know that Kim drove her there.
Exactly.
Or rode in the backseat and then turned around. Had the driver take her back.
That's a good point. But not only that, like, to see it from Kate's perspective in I Am Kate is a little more generous to her. To see it from Kris's perspective on Kardashians is a little more generous to her.
Of course.
Where do you stand between those two?
I have the same opinion from watching it on I Am Kate and then watching it here. Because, it's the same conversation when they sit down and talk about it. Obviously, the confessionals are different. But I never would imagine me siding with Kris. But she, really doesn't listen to anything that she says. Like, if she's like, well, we're really happy for you, blah, blah, but... I felt this certain way. And then she would just completely not listen to that or, care about those feelings and then just, attack her with something like, you could have called or blah, blah. Well, that was a long time ago. So it's just say, you know what, I'm sorry. How can we move on? You know what I mean? She, wasn't even acknowledging her feelings.
Caitlyn's kind of a jerk. Let's just be honest. And that's not to say Kris is not. But Caitlyn's kind of a jerk and came across as kind of a jerk today.
I like what Kris said in the confessional thing after. I thought Bruce was stubborn, and then I meant Caitlyn.
Yeah, that was a damning quote.
Yeah.
And obviously, and I know Kris has a bias because they're divorced, and Kris is not it's not like a spurned lover situation, but you know what I'm saying? They're not against each other, but they're not together anymore. Right. So there's definitely a bias, and the girls are generally probably going to side with Kris. Because Kris is who they see all the time. Kris is who some of them live with still. But Caitlyn.
I think Kylie would usually choose Caitlyn. I think it seems like they're closer.
Or Kendall, or maybe both, Kylie and Kendall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Kendall's removed from a lot of things.
Oh yeah, on purpose.
She's it's Rob, then her, and then the family.
Look at what she did with the baby this weekend to jump to present day events where she flew in, saw the kid apparently, and then flew back out to London that night.
Yeah.
And it's she got to work and she has a different kind of career, but she's not trying to take off extra days. And it's not disrespectful, I don't think. She's just on her...
She's focused.
She's on her grind, as the kids say. And good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As the kids say.
That's what the kids say, on the grind.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. I got all the cool kid phrases. I'll show you guys later.
What are some other ones?
Let me see. Swag.
Oh, swag? I think that's going
No,
out.
Swag's just coming in.
I don't
Watch
know.
Watch it happen.
Bobby.
Swag.
I can just imagine your kids, Bobby, Dad, stop, you're embarrassing me.
That'll never happen. What's next for Kris and Caitlyn? On the show, we kind of see what happens with Caitlyn. She's filming season 2 of I Am Kate. We know they filmed together at one point, but on the show, what are we going to see the rest of the year with the two of them?
Well, I don't think that we'll see them really interact that much at all on the show.
From your mouth to God's ear.
Well, the thing, they're divorced. They don't have to be best friends. They don't have to, do all these things. We hear about it a lot in the press. They have they ran into each other on the red carpet. It's not like they're going and hanging out all the time. And they shouldn't have to if they're divorced. They got divorced for a reason.
Yeah. And there's Corey Gamble in the picture. Just always hanging out.
Just, taking care of the kids. That's what he said when Jonathan came in. He was like, how are you doing? He's like, oh, just taking care of the kids. What are you doing, Corey, to take care of the kids?
So he's you told me this last week or 2 weeks ago, he's Justin Bieber's tour manager? Is that it?
Yeah, so he works for Scooter Braun.
Yeah.
He's his tour manager. So whatever artist is on tour, he's
Who else does Scooter Braun manage then?
Tori Kelly.
Okay.
I don't know who else just those
other
two.
people.
Probably,
Well, Bieber's enough.
all he needs.
Yeah.
I'm sure he keeps them busy.
Bieber's more than enough. Okay, because I'm just looking at Corey and I'm like, he didn't add a whole lot. And he hasn't added a whole lot. And when he has tried to add a whole lot, I like him because he tries to be funny, but he's not like, he's not the new Scott in terms of a humor replacement. He's not...
Well, he seems like he adores Kris.
Yeah.
So really that's all that matters.
Are you buying this? Like, I know we haven't really talked about the heart of the Corey Kris thing, but are you buying this as anything more than a publicity grab for him? Like, he sees an opportunity, he's going to take it, or does he actually care about Kris? There are different places in life.
I think he cares about Kris, and also it's like he gets a publicity stunt. So it's like, all right,
kill two birds with one stone. I don't really know. I just always, when I see him, I just always think about Kim, or it was Kim talking about how she could hear them, and so I'm like, they can't just be like.
I thought that was the laundry. Didn't they say that was the laundry?
No, they were.
They were on the laundry machine.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I'm just going to think it was the laundry for my own.
Yeah, I just really don't want to think about Kris having sex.
Sleep pattern.
Totes talk.
Whew, we get more Khloe and Lamar.
Just a tad.
Again. The divorce. So this is the thing where the divorce was...
When she filed for it, yeah.
Because there's such a backlog. And I remember this came out over the summer, and it was like, why is she only filing now or whatever? But LA County, or wherever, I guess it would be LA County, has such a backlog of cases and stuff that it takes a while.
That's crazy.
Well, and I think that, she's kind of always been waiting for him to, get it together. And I think over the summer, she was finally like, okay, well, if he's not going to do this, it's been 2 years, I need to move on. And then, as we know now, his current state, it just, wasn't expected, obviously.
I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait to see. I know this sounds like, can't wait to see a guy have an overdose, but I can't wait to see how they approach that.
Yeah.
Right.
And what the aftermath is, and how far they filmed during and after this. I don't know if they were filming for this season during this, or if it's going to be whatever, but how far they film into the recovery.
Season like 1,000?
Yeah. And like the rehab and stuff. And do we see Khloe going into the hospital? Like, what does that look like? The stuff Khloe's been doing the last month, how much of that do we get on the show?
Hey, speaking of that, what's been going on with them? I feel like I haven't heard.
He's in... he will never be
the same. Yeah.
He will never care for himself. It sounds like significant brain damage, if that's what we're supposed to... If we can believe that. But it's bad. I mean, it could have been worse. He didn't die. But it's bad.
And
the good thing is...
Well, and she just called off the divorce for now, just so that she could make decisions for him, as his wife.
The good thing is he's in the best hospital in the world. Literally.
Yeah.
Cedars-Sinai might be the best hospital in the whole damn world.
Yeah.
So that's good. And I guess we'll see. Medicine's come a long way, so who knows? Maybe there is something in the future, but it ain't good.
Yeah, it's a shame. It really is.
It's a weird state too. Like the TV ending would have been for him to go through this and do whatever, and then come out the other side and like reform and see his ways and get clean and like have a nice, resolution to this part of his life.
Which could still happen, It just really depends on. I mean, it's still so recent. I mean, it's been almost 2 months now. But that recovery process, they said, is going to take the rest of his life.
Yeah. And apparently, and I don't know, I mean, these are all like sources and reports and news stories, so who knows? But he doesn't communicate well. He can't talk. So I don't know what he can physically, like cognitively do. And I don't know if when they talk to him, if he can actually take it in and understand it or what's going on.
Right.
That's so sad. Yeah. I feel like I could probably do a little more digging on that, but I didn't feel like I heard anything. So hearing them talk about it today.
I think it's like pretty much just the same stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has been for a few weeks now.
Yeah, there hasn't been like a major update.
It's a bummer.
It's tough. It's like, it's just, I don't know. It's sad. The whole thing is sad. The whole situation is sad. It's the demons he's been dealing with, because this has been going for a long time on different levels, apparently.
Right.
And then his father's history with this stuff, and Khloe's thing in this. Khloe is in this weird position where if you stay by him, not even as husband and wife, but if you just stay by him, this is going to sound crazy, but how much of your world do you leave by because you're going to the hospital all the time?
Right.
You're going to rehab all the time. Like, this is somebody you love, but at the same time, this isn't your problem. This wasn't your doing.
Right.
It's a tough situation, for sure.
And then if you leave him, if you do walk away, or if you do come infrequently, you're an asshole.
Right.
Oh, Khloe's such an asshole. She doesn't care. She used Lamar and walked away. I mean, you cannot win in this situation if you're her.
And she's still dating James Harden, so that's a whole nother part of it, because she's, in this relationship that with someone who treats her right, you know, from what we know, and they have a strong relationship. So now she's kind of having to put, you know, still put that on the back burner a little bit when she's with Lamar, and you know, it's complicated.
I think, you know, we talk about how much money the Kardashians have and the things they do and the way they live, and like, one way to use your money for good, and I'm sure they'll do this if Lamar doesn't, I don't know Lamar's financial situation, but maybe he was okay anyways. But if Lamar doesn't have the finances for this, the best thing she can do for him beyond the actual rehab and help process is seeing financially that this will all be covered.
Right.
That the rehab and whatever for the rest of his life and the recovery and the caretaking and stuff, like beyond that, however much you want to get involved emotionally, like this is an ex-husband, and technically is an ex-husband, like you moved on. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm totally wrong, but I wouldn't expect her to stick around for years, going every day.
No, I don't think she will, and I don't think she should have to.
No.
I mean, this is a whole... I mean, as sad as it is, that was why they didn't work out.
Right.
But there's going to be people. You know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
There's people that hate on them for blinking, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she's definitely going to get backlash whether she's... whatever she does. But, I mean, at the end of the day, when it's something like that, they made the decision years ago not to be together. You know what I mean? And as sad as it is, that he never, you know, was able to, you know, put that demon to rest... you know, and I mean, she's there for him now, and hopefully once he gets stable, he can,
or, you know,
I really hope that he has that miraculous recovery and like comes out.
Hey, those reports could be totally wrong, or even if they're right, you can still, I mean, who the hell knows?
Yeah.
But, you know, the other thing too is, I totally just lost my train of thought. I was thinking of something very deep with her, but now I can't remember. Oh, the timing. This is what it is. The timing between them breaking up, the last few years that have been rough on Lamar, whether the breakup caused this or this caused the breakup, and then the divorce papers, and then the overdose. And you look at all the timing of this stuff, and it's Khloe's not at fault for this overdose. This is his demon.
Right.
This is not her thing. And even if it were, she's not a party girl. She's not a clubber.
Right.
She's not putting him in these situations that we can see.
Right.
So I hope that she, knowing how she feels and the emotions that she carries, that she doesn't carry guilt for this, saying he did this because of us, or this was a cause. It's like, you didn't do anything, Khloe.
Right.
You didn't do anything wrong. You know, you did what you had to do. You weren't whatever.
And this is a problem that he's always had.
And if anything, she might have been too generous to him.
Yeah.
The last couple of years, waiting around, taking his calls, doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
She might have enabled him too much the other way.
Right. And what did you guys think of him texting Kris?
What were the messages exactly?
Well, they were about James Harden, and then
that's right,
they
that
were
one,
also about just like it sounded like he was like apologizing for whatever.
I find it weird that Lamar doesn't know James Harden. Every professional sport, all these dudes know each other.
Yeah.
Because in the off season, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but like these pickup basketball games these guys have in the off season, where they're all playing each other. That's how they train. They just play each other. So you have these crazy games of superstars. Like, how has Lamar never come across James Harden?
Well, James Harden is like, James Harden's been in the league for that long.
He's been in the league long enough.
Okay. Well,
because Lamar played a couple years ago.
Well, I don't think that he didn't know. I don't think the text message were like, "Who is this guy? I don't know who he is." I think he was like, "Are they dating? Like, are they together?" I think it was more of trying to get like a scoop of like what his relationship with Khloe is, not so much like who is he.
Yeah, and I don't think it's weird that he texts Kris, but I do think it's weird that Kris didn't tell Khloe about it, like
until Kylie's birthday dinner, where that would seem inappropriate.
Because especially because that's used to be her, or technically is her son-in-law. Like, you know, why are you talking about another guy with him? Like, that's.
Well, it sounds like Lamar brought it up, so she was just kind of... but she shouldn't have been like, I don't think so. Don't believe all the stuff you hear. She should have been like, yes, they're dating.
Yeah.
Or Khloe.
Ask Khloe. This isn't my business.
I think Kris revels in the drama. Understatement of the year.
Yeah.
I know when we were watching Bobby, you made like a sigh or something when Kris said, or was it you, Sterling? I can't remember. When Kris said, out of all the couples that she's had the pleasure of being around, that she really thought...
Look...
Khloe and Lamar would work. And honestly, I did too. Yeah.
Really, guys? Come on.
Just
they were in love.
I have friends whose parents. I have actually a couple friends whose parents dated for like one of them was even like 3 weeks got eloped, like went and got eloped, and they've been together like 35 years.
When you know, you know.
Sometimes
Bobby.
you know.
I think that Khloe legitimately is like in love with Lamar, but because of his, you know, his problems, it just doesn't work out.
Okay.
But if they had known each other longer, she would have probably seen that this is a huge issue.
That's what I'm saying. That you get together so fast, and I'm not knocking it, like it works, whatever. But all these Kardashian relationships happen just 100. They happen so fast, and none of them work. Kim's been divorced now twice, at least.
Yeah, 3.
And then had another, you know, other public relationships that didn't work, like Reggie Bush and stuff like that.
Reggie.
And
Those were the glory days.
You got Kourtney, who didn't work, but that's a different situation, so I won't even count her. And then you have even Kris's relationship that was well established and fizzled. And so for her to be like, well, I thought it would last forever. Well, most relationships aren't gonna last forever. That's not a knock on them. Like, if you're married for 10 years in Hollywood, that's a pretty damn long time, relatively. Yeah. Like, it's not a knock on the people or whatever. It's a fact of life. It happens. Relationships end. So for her to be like straight face, like, man, I thought they were the one that was going to last.
She was there, and she's, you know, she could see the love.
When your kid gets married, you only want to hope that they stay together forever.
Yeah, but afterwards, after the fact, looking back, I'm not asking her to shit on the marriage and be like, well, I knew they weren't going to work. I'm not asking for that. But, like, don't give me this quote. It's like, it's disingenuous. I don't know.
She did want them to be together forever, Bobby.
Bobs, you're being negative.
Yeah.
My emotions during this episode just up and down. I am being a little negative.
I mean, even if they had been dating longer before they got married, you know, he could have just been coasting along with his addictions forever, and then maybe 30 years down the line it would hit. But I don't think that matters or says that they didn't love each other.
No, but I'm not saying they didn't love each other, and I'm not talking about the addictions. I'm just saying by the simple math of looking at relationships A, relationships in celebrity culture B, and relationships in this family C with their track record. And not that it's bad, it just is inevitable. It happens. It's like relationships, the chances of anything lasting forever, you know, the stereotypical 60 years of marriage and they, you know, die together and stuff is like, well, that happens kind of relatively rarely, especially in this culture. So, you know, I don't know. I just thought it was a weird quote. It was kind of unnecessary. I think it's a quote that Khloe would look at and almost feel guilty about. Right. Like, God, we could have lasted forever. Kris' mom thinks we could have lasted forever. This sucks. This is on us. It's like,
I hope she doesn't feel that way.
I hope she doesn't either, but it's like, it's not your fault. Relationships end for a lot of different reasons. You know? I don't know. That's just me. Bobby DeMuro, relationship expert. Now, what?
I'm just having a Franny's giggle. Continue.
Okay, last topic. Kim in the bedrooms. Kim needs to get her own damn house.
We've has like 3 million.
We've been having this storyline for so long.
Okay, so it got clarified. I mean, when we talk about it, I always feel confused, but it was clarified for me in this episode. It sounds like she still has both houses. And she fixed that first one, got another one, and then fixed the first one again. So technically she still has 2, but then she just recently sold one of them.
And they have a New York apartment,
but
right?
But they still have a house, and don't they have an apartment in each?
Yeah.
And even if they didn't want to live in these houses, you know, I just want to buy houses and not live in them. But even if they couldn't do that, live in these houses that they've bought for them and redone for them twice, like, why not get like a little condo or something like that? You could still be in Hidden Hills. Or something like, you know what I mean?
Why not rent a house down the street?
Why do that when you can have your mom wait on you hand and foot?
And this is the culture of this family. Like, they're so close and stuff, and that's cool. Like, and the idea of them living at home is kind of fun. And like, Kris would be all alone otherwise, so that's great.
It just like shocks me that Kanye is like cool with living with Kris.
I know.
Like, that's very surprising to me.
Well, because Kris will never be alone, because you heard it. She has her trainer, her cook, her this, her that, her, you know, yada, yada, yada. So Kanye's like, cool, I don't got to hire more of these people. We got it all right here.
Yeah, it's taken care of. It's weird, though. I don't know if you guys got this feeling, but Kim has loved in the past to complain about, critique, and criticize brother Rob because he's lazy and he's a hanger-on, he's not doing anything, he just hangs out at Khloe's house and he doesn't do a damn thing. And like, we get it, Kim, you're working hard, but you're hanging out at mom's house. It's a weird level of hypocritical where she's like, Rob, you got to do your own thing and like get your life together. hey mom, can I live with you? It's like, well, wait a second, what are you talking about?
It's not because she's like going off a like bad path. It's just
No,
because
but like
she
if
like needs to redo her
but
bathroom.
if you're gonna say
one
it,
house.
but if you have multiple places and the means to at least rent a place temporarily, like if you're gonna say it, you have to be about it. Like
That's
if you're
a
gonna
lot of
critique,
stress for a prego girl.
I get it, but you should have done this a long time ago. That's the thing. You should have been out of this house before the
Yeah.
first pregnancy, and you weren't.
Yeah, I honestly don't think it's that big of a deal. They're just obviously making it a big deal for the show.
I think it's actually a huge deal for Kris.
Yeah.
I mean, God forbid
Especially
she doesn't
she's-
have 20 closets.
well,
you know?
and she's just trying to have some alone time with her boo thing.
Exactly. Her and Corey wanted Kris in every room. Think about that.
Every closet.
I mean, their closets are big enough to have a bedroom in them anyway, so
Yeah, seriously.
You can't Kris in the nursery. That's just
wrong.
The red room.
Ugh.
That's Corey.
Why
called
is it called the red room?
I don't know. It's
Huh?
very interesting. Bobby.
I can't follow that up. Poor Corey. He's taken so much abuse. He's probably the nicest guy on the show.
Yeah, he's good. I like him.
He puts up with a lot of shit, just like me. Let's get
What are you trying to say about us, Bobby?
nothing. Let's get to predictions right now.
Okay, bye.
And now, your AfterBuzz
Sorry, I'm
TV prediction.
Dodged a bullet there. I guess we covered news at the top of the show, so we can kind of miss that.
We do have more news.
We do?
Well,
okay,
like-
well we're on predictions, so we
what?
can't
Oh,
do
yeah.
news now.
Sorry, my bad.
What do we have prediction wise? What do you guys got?
Cricket.
Well, it's like hard for what we do know. 3 months.
Let me ask you guys this. Let's do it a little bit differently. Did you think on social media the last 48 hours, I guess, after the baby was born, like last 36 hours, the Kardashians were kind of radio silent?
Yeah.
Did you think that was weird?
No.
I think that once the news broke on Saturday morning that they had the baby, blah blah. It was about like a couple hours. People were like, "Oh my God, Kim had her baby," but then like today, I didn't hear anything about
Nothing.
it. Yeah.
Nothing.
We can't really say much.
Yeah, but like it's something is weird about it. The 2 Kardashian reactions online that I saw yesterday, and there may be more now today, but the 2 that I saw online, or the 3 are this: A, Kylie pimping her lip thing.
Yeah.
B, Rob helping her with that. No baby reference, but
Yeah.
helping with the lip stuff. Number 2 is Courtney saying baby's breath on Twitter with like emojis and stuff. That was it. And then number 3 was Khloe on Twitter saying something to the effect of, "Boy, I sure know these hospitals well," which is like, kind of a
Yikes.
macabre reference to Lamar and stuff, which isn't like a joyous.
Yeah.
It was just weird. I'm not saying they're not happy for Kim or anything,
I don't
but
know.
it was
Maybe something went down.
it was a weird reaction, or something went down, or there was I have no idea what was going on. But the whole day yesterday, I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't expect a picture or a name or anything like that, but I
Right.
expect them all to like
Be like,
swarm.
"Oh my God,
Yeah,
baby's here." So
Exactly.
excited.
Maybe
Well,
it's
you
like
don't
what
know
you
if the-
said.
Well, and you don't know if there were any like health complications. Like I hope
That's
there
the
weren't.
thing.
Blah, blah,
Exactly.
Well, didn't she post on her blog that mama and baby are...
blah. Doing fine.
That's
yeah.
PR. She didn't post it. I mean,
Well, I know she physically
Yeah.
probably didn't, but
I don't think they would say that though if like she actually wasn't. Right?
I absolutely think they would if they were trying to blow up a smoke screen. And I'm not saying. I mean, who knows? The chances of this happening are little.
Yeah.
But
well,
It
like
was
you
just-
were just saying how if she had a third child, the hype might not be as big. Well, maybe, I mean, this time around it's not that big either, even though it's Kanye's first son. I think once the name is revealed and we get a picture, then the internet's gonna go crazy.
I agree.
I will say, I thought this family was done after the Kris Humphries divorce scandal, 72 days of marriage. When Kim did that, I was like, people are going to see through it. This family's done. And they kept coming back stronger, and they kept coming back stronger.
Yeah.
And then a calendar year ago, we were sitting in this very studio in the old building.
Yeah, not this very studio.
saying that the Kardashians were kind of at a lull.
A studio really similar to this one.
We were on this show a calendar year ago. Look it up. Talking about how the Kardashians were in a lull and they were at a, they were like at a low point and nothing was going on. And we
Yeah.
just got done with that Khloe or Courtney and Khloe take the Hamptons, and it was boring as hell.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. And then Caitlyn happened, and then Kylie
I
happened.
still
And
feel
then
like
Lamar.
and then Lamar
yeah.
happened, and then the new baby.
And
I'm just.
Scott.
I still feel like as a show wise, it's not really anything too exciting.
It's like more exciting what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's just, they got like you said, baby being born and Lamar, but those those are kind of just like I don't want to say everyday things, but it happens to a lot of celebrities all the time, and you know what I mean? So it's kind of like they're not new anymore. They still obviously have a huge craze around them, but story-wise and watching them every day, like...
I'm just amazed how they continually resurrect themselves. Every year or two, you think, not that they're necessarily done, but like, okay, they're kind of hitting their mark, and this is it, and okay. And then just something else big happens, and they get bigger in that moment than they've ever been before. And then the next moment is even bigger than that. It's crazy. It's insane. So I say this, and I'm like, well, there wasn't as much news about the baby. And then I'm looking like, wait a minute. Maybe something massive is coming 6 months from now.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
What's the next massive
they're
thing?
probably just trying to keep it all private so they can put it on their website and apps.
Yes, I forgot about that.
That's true too. Have you guys been on the website at all? The websites?
I've been on Kim's.
They're kind of like
Kylie's a little bit, but
I mean, I'm not the demographic, so I look at them and I'm like,
yeah.
But
I mean, I go to them when they have all their exclusive stuff on there. Like, yeah, so
yeah.
And I don't have an account, so I can't see a lot of the stuff.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I don't have an account.
Is it like $2 a month?
It's like $2.99, but it's a month, but each one is separate.
Oh.
So it's not $2.99 for all of them. It's you have to either get, every one or do that for each website.
Just follow Kylie on Snapchat. That's
That's really all you need.
That's all you need.
Oh Lord. Well, another week, another show of Kardashians. I think that's it, guys.
Alrighty.
Twitter, social media, LinkedIn profiles. I don't know what y'all want to give.
No.
Where can people connect with you guys online?
You can find me at Sterling Cates.
And you can find me Twitter, Instagram, XOXOCESCA.
I'm on Twitter at Bobby DeMuro. We'll check your tweets, your comments, all that good stuff. Comment on YouTube all week. We check that all week. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. We'll be back next Sunday. More Kardashians in this very studio right here a week from today. See you guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.